Welcome to this segment of the course. I'm working with people involved with the courts and corrections in health insurance coverage. My name is Maureen McDonnell, and I'm the Director for Business and Healthcare Strategy Development at TASC. TASC is a statewide nonprofit organization in Illinois, and we work with people under court and correctional supervision, about 25,000 of them a year. And we link people with substance abuse and mental health services. So we're very familiar with the concerns of providers in working with this population and with the courts in having these folks enrolled in coverage. So what we're going to talk about today are just some specifics related to the Affordable Care Act and people under justice supervision, and some thoughts about why it's a good idea to enroll folks under justice supervision in coverage in your agencies. Substance abuse treatment providers play a very important role in healthcare reform. Those roles include education, and helping people enroll, and of course providing services. Many people who haven't had access to mental health and substance abuse treatment services in the past because they're uninsured and have no way to pay for them may be very skeptical about what expanded eligibility means for them and whether that will actually help them access treatment. And so it's a very important time to start changing people's understanding of what they actually are going to have access to. We know that starting October 1st, people can start to enroll in coverage, and their services become available to them starting in January of 2014. So you can also help them become aware of this timeline and that they can start to get the documentation ready that they need, and other steps that are important to help them become ready to enroll. Certainly for providers, having a broad-ranging enrollment strategy will help you draw more people into your services, and I think make it more likely that people will ultimately engage in treatment with you. One question on many people's minds is whether individuals under justice supervision or people with criminal records are actually eligible for coverage under the Affordable Care Act. And the good news is yes. While there are many barriers for people with criminal records to jobs, to public housing, to student loans, and many other public services, individuals under justice supervision, those on probation, those under pretrial supervision, people on parole, people who have completed their sentences in jails or prisons are all eligible for coverage under Medicaid or private insurance through the affordable insurance marketplace. The most important thing to remember is that everyone in your community who meets residency and income requirements will qualify for health coverage. They can enroll in October, and services start January 1st of 2014. One of the most important developments in the Affordable Care Act for people who need substance abuse and mental health services is that these services are actually required essential benefits in both Medicaid and the health plans that will be offered on the health insurance exchange. This is extraordinarily important for people under justice supervision and for people, agencies that have responsibility for supervising these folks. And that is because the rates of untreated addiction and untreated psychiatric disorders are among the very highest among people who are involved in the justice supervision, generally 7 times higher than in the general population. The vast majority of people who are detained in local jails have used drugs and alcohol within a few days of their arrest, and nearly half actually meet dependence criteria for substance use disorders. And the same is true, or similarly high rates are true for people with serious mental illness. This is a tremendous opportunity for them to finally connect with substance abuse and mental health services in your agency, and a tremendous opportunity for your agency to serve people that perhaps you haven't been able to serve on a broad scale in the past. So why is it important to enroll people under justice supervision in health insurance coverage? First of all, there's the tremendous need that we just spoke about for people who need services and they need them in the community. Also, we know this is a better solution. For many people who don't pose a significant public safety risk, and that is most people who are arrested for possession charges and low-risk property offenses, it's a better solution to go to treatment in the community. And often that's done under supervision, meaning a parole supervision or probation supervision. And so that provides support to treatment providers as well during that time. Facilitating enrollment can also help build relationships and partnerships with the courts and probation and parole for your agency. And these agencies can be a source of further referrals for you. And so the more you help these agencies enroll people, the more you enroll them in coverage, the more comfortable your staff are working with this population, the more you're going to be able to benefit from this growing stream of referrals under the Affordable Care Act. Sometimes people ask whether there are risks associated with providing substance abuse and mental health services to this population. It's important to know that many people with addictions and significant mental health problems come into contact with the justice system because of very low-level offenses such as drug possession and property crimes that are associated with drug use. And it's also important to know that treatment has a significant effect on reducing future arrests and future involvement in these kinds of activities. And so we know it's a very important and effective solution. It's also important to note that many people who participate in substance abuse treatment have had involvement with law enforcement. And so folks who are directly under supervision may well have a lot in common with your current clients. There are evidence-based strategies for providing treatment to this population. They've been extensively researched through the National Institute on Drug Abuse, and SAMHSA has done a lot of work to publicize different effective treatment strategies, as have other federal justice agencies. If your staff have concerns about working with this population, it's important to address them through training and clinical supervision. You may want to offer training on evidence-based practices that are known to be effective with this population. You may also want to address some of the stigma that comes with criminal records and help people understand what is and isn't accurate and meaningful as far as how treatment is delivered. Clinical supervision can be also a helpful venue to work out any concerns that people have, and concerns that relate to individual cases as well. So what if your agency just doesn't provide services to this population at all? Well, if your agency is not in a position to provide treatment to people under justice supervision, it's still a good idea to help them enroll in appropriate coverage. You can give them that information on how to do that themselves or even do that at your agency, and this will allow them to get services elsewhere as quickly and efficiently as possible. Training your staff to facilitate enrollment in health insurance gives them valuable skills and contributes to the agency's mission. It can also help other agencies in the community, including criminal justice agencies, to get their folks who are uninsured enrolled as well. And certainly agencies that demonstrate agility and willingness to partner during this time of tremendous change are better positioned to benefit from high enrollment rates down the road. So today we've talked about a few important things. One is the tremendous need of people under justice supervision to have access to substance abuse and mental health services in the community. And another very important point is that people with criminal records and people under justice supervision are eligible for coverage. And so those are two very important factors in thinking about your outreach and enrollment strategies starting in this fall. A few next steps you might want to consider. One is to make sure to include this topic in training for your staff and in your policies and procedures so that when someone who's on probation or parole turns up in your intake department, people know that they are not excluded and don't need to be, and they can go ahead and enroll them in coverage. A second important piece is to inform your justice system partners, the courts, probation, parole, pretrial services, even your jail, that you're willing to work with people under supervision and that you're willing to help them enroll as well. And that should help with your business strategy going forward in this exciting time. A third thing that's important is to provide your staff with the proper support, training on evidence-based practices, clinical supervision, training that addresses stigma and concerns people have around working with people with criminal records, to make sure that they have the support they need to be very effective with this population. For more information about these topics, you can go to the Center for Health and Justice at TASC, and we are happy to share further information with you. Good luck with your enrollment efforts, and we look forward to seeing how things turn out.